Hey there. If you're new here, welcome. This story is raw, real, and sometimes life hits harder than we ever expect. Before we begin, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps me bring more stories like this your way. Now, take a deep breath, get comfortable. This one's going deep. I never thought I'd see the day when everything I believed in would crumble around me, like dust slipping through my fingers. The kind of collapse that doesn't make a sound, but shatters your world inside. The woman I loved, the one I trusted with my whole heart, my soul, suddenly became a stranger. Not the kind you pass on the street and barely notice, but the kind who haunts your every thought. Yet here I am, alone in this silent apartment, swallowed by memories that linger like a bitter aftertaste, impossible to swallow or spit out. At first, it was the little things. Innocent, or so I tried to convince myself. Texts on her phone that I wasn't supposed to see, but caught a glimpse of by accident. Smiles that didn't quite reach her eyes. Those small cracks in her facade. Late nights spent, working late, or meeting friends. Excuses said so casually, but sounding hollow, like empty echoes in a vast room. Every time, I swallowed the knot tightening in my throat, and told myself to trust her, to trust us. Because love, I thought, was built on trust. But deep down, there was a gnawing unease, a growing fracture I was too afraid to face. The fear of what the truth might be kept me silent, kept me hoping. If only I had been braver. If only I had asked more questions instead of bottling it up. Maybe then I would have seen the full picture sooner. Maybe I could have stopped the damage before it was too late. Or maybe not. Maybe some things are beyond stopping. One evening, everything changed. I came home early from work, earlier than usual. The kind of surprise that's meant to be sweet, but turned sour instead. The door was unlocked. My heart skipped. But I told myself it was nothing. Maybe she forgot, maybe she was expecting me. Then I heard her voice. Warm, familiar, casual. But not for me. She was on the phone, laughing softly, whispering his name. I froze. Time slowed down. The laughter that once felt like music now felt like a dagger twisting in my chest. I tried to deny it. It's nothing, I told myself. Just friends. But the way she said his name, the secret tone, shattered everything. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. Why didn't I confront her right then? Why did I choose silence? Maybe because I was terrified. Terrified that facing the truth would destroy me completely. Or maybe I thought that if I ignored it, it might just disappear. But pain isn't so kind. It burrows in deeper. I didn't confront her that night. I left. I needed air, space, to think. To understand how the woman I loved could betray me so effortlessly, so cruelly. But the truth burned hotter the more I tried to ignore it. Every moment away, I felt it crawling under my skin, poisoning my thoughts. If I'd stayed, maybe I could have stopped it. Maybe I could have saved us. Or maybe I would have lost myself completely, swallowed whole by the lies and deceit. Sometimes I wonder if silence was my only weapon. Days stretched out like a slow, unending nightmare. She acted as if nothing was wrong. Smiling, cooking dinner, pretending. And the worst part? She didn't look guilty. Not a flicker of remorse in her eyes. That cold indifference cut deeper than the betrayal itself. It was then I realized she wasn't sorry. She wasn't even sad. That realization broke something inside me. It was the moment I changed. I vanished, not just physically, but emotionally. I stopped calling. Stopped asking questions. I became a ghost in our home. A shadow she couldn't see or hurt anymore. I retreated into silence, wrapping myself in it like a shield against the pain. Was disappearing the coward's way out? Maybe. But it was the only way I could protect the fragile pieces of my heart. I had to disappear, to survive. The silence was deafening. But it was mine. Mine to control. Mine to own. Slowly, painfully, I started living for myself. I reclaimed the parts of me I thought I had lost in her love. I threw every ounce of my pain into something fierce. My work, my friends, my dreams. I built walls so high. I thought no one could climb them. No one could reach me again. But the hardest part wasn't the betrayal. It was learning to live with the scars she left behind. The empty spaces where trust used to be. The quiet void where love once lived. Sometimes I catch myself staring at the ceiling in the dead of night, wondering if I was ever really enough. If I ever mattered. If I could turn back time. Would I do things differently? Would I fight harder? Would I walk away sooner? Or would I stay, hoping for a miracle that never came? I replay moments in my head. The laughter, the touch, the promises. And wonder how they all turned into lies. How someone who said forever could so easily erase everything. With a lie, a smile, a whisper to another man. And yet, despite it all, when I look back now, I don't hate her. Not really. I just see the truth for what it was. Pain wrapped in lies. A story of broken hearts and shattered illusions. Me? I learned to disappear. Not because I was weak, but because I had to protect what little was left of my heart. To survive, I had to become invisible. A ghost walking through the ruins of what we once were. This story isn't just about betrayal. It's about survival. About rising from the ashes of someone else's deception. And finding the strength to live again. To rebuild. To hope. If you've ever felt that kind of hurt, that kind of loss, know this. You're not alone. Sometimes, vanishing is the only way to find yourself again. Thank you for listening. If this story touched you, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. More stories are coming, stories of pain, hope, and survival. Take care of yourself. See you soon.